Even though Donald Trump is facing several criminal probes for allegedly breaking federal law by moving documents to Mar-A-Lago upon leaving the White House, the former US president is now boasting about his actions. Trump is saying, openly and transparently, that he moved the official government records to his Florida residence. On his social media website, Truth Social, Trump wrote, and I quote, "When will you invade Bill and Hillary's home?" in search of the 33,000 emails she deleted after receiving a subpoena from the US Congress. He added, saying, "When will you invade the other presidents' homes in search of documents which are voluminous, which they took with them, but not nearly so openly and transparently as I did?" The Justice Department is currently investigating whether Trump broke federal law by moving documents to Mar-A-Lago upon leaving the White House. It's one of several criminal probes that Trump is facing, and the Department of Justice and Attorney General Merrick Garland are under public pressure to remain independent as they investigate everything from Trump's retention of official records to his alleged involvement in the deadly January 6th Capitol riots. And the pressure has only gone up recently since Trump announced that he was running for the 2024 presidential election. For more on this, our correspondent Susan Tarani is joining us live from New York City. Susan, what do you make of the former president's latest comments that he's put out on social media?
Well, it just seems like another day at the office for Donald Trump at this point with a statement like this. You know, it also comes shortly after Merrick Garland appointed that special counsel Jack Smith, and his background is coming into focus. His wife was responsible for creating a documentary with Michelle Obama and the Obamas. She was close to, the former president, the Obamas, I mean. And, then the conversation comes on whether or not spouses should be off limits or not, so whether or not Jack Smith, the special counsel, is really going to be independent. So that's, those are kind of news that have been sort of dominating the airwaves as well. So I think that there is some kind of concern on the part of Trump and his aides and, the Trump circle on how far Merrick Garland is going to go with this investigation regarding the Mar-A-Lago documents, and possibly he wants to get ahead of all of this. And then, it's the Trump brand on how he's always transparent. He says what he thinks, and he is, running for 2024. So that's, some of the things that might come to mind right now. Why he brought up the Mar-A-Lago documents at this point. He's also making headlines for having dinner with Kanye. He might have wanted to deviate attention from that. That was sort of not the best headline for Donald Trump these past few days. So it's again, it seems like another day at the office on the one hand, but on the other hand, we'll have to see what the Justice Department does regarding these documents. Remember, nothing has been proven so far on whether or not he broke any laws or not.
And Susan, those investigations, like you mentioned, they're very much in the background, they're swirling around, there are several of them. Has there been any movement in terms of the lines of inquiry in any of those independent and separate investigations?
No, not as far as reaching any concrete conclusion is concerned. Donald Trump is facing a slew of indictments, not only here in New York, but Merrick Garland and the Justice Department is trying to look into his involvement in the January 6th riots. On the one hand, these Mar-A-Lago documents on the other. And then, he was sort of defeated, if you may, regarding having that special master go through and oversee what kind of what documents were taken from Mar-A-Lago from the Justice Department and what could really be looked into. So that was possibly the latest development that we saw regarding this, but we'll have to wait and see. Jack Smith has the special counsel that was appointed, I guess, in intelligence circles has this reputation of really being a go-getter, but I think ultimately we've got a ways to go until something comes out of this. But it's a very sensitive situation, because every time something like this happens to Donald Trump, it always ends up benefiting Donald Trump.
Susan, thank you. That was Susan Tarani joining us live from New York City.